Metal Express is joined by Mr. Annihilator himself, Jeff Waters. How are we doing these days, Jeff?
Not too bad. Just enjoying the fact that I'm still able to put out records and tour. Hey, what can you say? From doing demos in 1985, 86 to doing this until 2007, it's quite an honor and quite a lot of luck and a lot of, and I got a lot of respect for all the people that bought our records and help us promote our records and our music to keep me coming over here. It's fantastic.
You're out now promoting your new album called Metal. We're used to having new members in your lineup for every record, but now you're having new guest musicians for each track, actually. How did you come up with this idea?
Well, wasn't really... The idea really came up at the very end of the recording. We were almost finished the record, and we had one more song to sing, to write lyrics for, and all the solos were done and all this stuff. And I get a call from either Corey Beaulieu from Trivium or Michael Amott from Arch Enemy. One of the two called me. I don't know which of the guys it was that I talked to first, but one of them asked me if maybe they could play a solo on one of our songs. And I thought about it and went, yeah, of course, that'd be an honor for me. And that same day, the other guy called, either Amott or Beaulieu. And so I thought, oh, well, I'll ask him if he wants to play a solo too. So it kind of came up at the very end of the recording when I was trying to get the record finished. I didn't want to stop and wait for people. I mean, I didn't really want to. I wanted to finish the record very quickly. And at that point, but then I realized, wow, having Michael and Corey on my record, that's great. Next morning, I woke up and said, wait a minute. I know Alexi Leho and Willie from Lamb of God, and a lot of those guys that I know are fans of Annihilator's music, some of our songs or some of our albums, and sometimes my guitar playing. And I thought, well, why don't I call them up? So, I don't know, and maybe in about 5-6 days later, I had, a whole list of people that said, yeah, I'd love to do a solo, And then it was a matter of just putting that all together and getting permission from the companies and getting the artists to record the parts. But it was, it was cool. It was a last-minute idea, but it was really good to have all these people on the record for sure.
So how did this happen? Did you send them your tapes or your files and they recorded it themselves?
About half of them recorded in my studio in Ottawa, Canada, and the other half they did it out either on the road or at their hometown or in a studio in their hometown. And Corey was in the studio doing the Crusade album already, so he recorded it while he was doing that. I just started off I had to erase most of my solos because I'd already finished it all. But, of course, I don't care. I'd rather have Alexi Leho playing on my song than me. I've already played on 11 of my records all over the place. But, so I deleted a lot of that stuff and then just sent them quick MP3s for them to listen to, and I told them what times the solos could go and where they could go, and that's it. I didn't tell them to do anything except do your style and your solo, not... Because a lot of the people were asking me at first, well, I don't know if we could do an Annihilator solo. And I said, no, you're not supposed to do a water solo. I asked you because you're the talent, and, Alexi Leho doesn't need to do a water solo. He's Alexi Leho. And that was an interesting part of the whole thing, too, was when I got all the tracks were done, I listened to the record, and most of the people listened to my advice, which was just do your own thing. And two guys didn't. It was Jeff Loomis, Nevermore, and Anders from The Haunted. They didn't. They kind of did more of a Annihilator water solo style, and that was amazing just to hear Jeff Loomis and Anders just play a sort of a water style solo, and that was probably the highlight of the record for me, personally.
Did you use all the contributions that came in?
Oh yeah. I was. I just left it. I mean, these guys are all great at what they do, and a lot of them sell more records than we do, and they know what they're doing. They're all talented guys. So I just said, here, do it, And Danko Jones wrote a really cool song, too, vocals, called Couple Suicide, with Angela Gosso was singing on that one, too. And that was a very well done song. I didn't have to tell him anything.
You sing one song yourself on this album. Do you miss singing? I mean, you sang on a few of your albums earlier, and well, at least one of them is my all-time favorites, King of the Kill. So you did that quite well. Do you miss singing?
Well, singing's very physical. Like some people know, I engineer, write, produce, mix. take care of the business stuff, and play all the guitars and usually all the guitars and the bass on the albums. And I have a lot of jobs, and I used to sing on about 3 Annihilator CDs: King of the Kill, Refresh the Demon, and Remains. And the first one I did, King of the Kill, I just did it because my girlfriend and my writing partner at the time, John Bates, suggested why don't you do it? Because I always sing on demos to give to the singers and say, here, sing it like this, or here's a melody. And so they said, well, why don't you do it? And I said, well, because I suck. I can't sing very well. And I've always hated my voice, so I always thought it was sucked. But then we did the King of the Kill record, and it was a huge album for Annihilator. It was one of the biggest Annihilator records, and I did some of the biggest touring with Annihilator on that record, especially in Asia and Japan. Big shows and tours. And so I guess, you don't have to be a great singer sometimes to have people like you, but I'm still insecure about the singing, and it's also very physical. It's demanding. And, Tonight I sing a few songs, maybe 3 or 4 songs live. Live I don't mind. Live is okay. But we'll see.
A few years ago you told me that your life at the moment had much impact on your writing. I mean, what was it like with this album?
Well, for me, my life's always up and down. It's just a crazy life. Playing in a band and having a family and having a son and some kids and trying to keep it all together and survive in a kind of music that doesn't make you rich unless you're Metallica or Slayer, and surviving in a kind of music that, it's when you're not selling million records and, you have to fight to survive. It's not an easy job to continue with this. And, but that's my first love, is the music. I don't know what I'd do without it. As much as I love my son and my family and my friends and all that, music's still it is my number one thing. But on this last album, Metal, I had a lot of good lyric ideas that came from some shitty times I was having. I signed up with a manager in around 2001 in Germany, and he got me into 4 bad deals: a bad record deal, a bad publishing deal, a bad merchandise deal, and a bad tour agency deal. And I spent a couple of years and a lot of money with a lawyer trying to get out of them, and I finally got out of all those deals in 2006. So it was a very close time for Annihilator to be finished. It was really, I thought for sure that it was the end of the band then, because it was just too much fighting I had to do to get back my rights for my music, and it's just so many crooks and thieves and people that lie to you, and just, it's just a dirty business. I mean, it's not set up for the artist to get paid for what they do. It's set up to put money in the pockets of record companies and managers. And the artist is supposed to just keep touring and not think of business and keep doing drugs, keep drinking or whatever it is, and don't worry about the business. So I had to worry about the business. It's my baby, and people are trying to fuck me over and end my career and steal my money and not do the job that they said they do in the contract. So I fought like hell for a year and a half, and that was a very difficult time. But I won. I got a new record out, and all those companies are gone, and I got my rights back, and fuck them. And it made a really good set of lyrics for some songs on the new record.
So this is kind of a fresh start for Annihilator. I mean, with a new record deal, a great album out, and now you're finally back in Norway. You haven't been here since '91, I think, and you're on a big tour.
Yeah, it's been really good. Trivium's given us the UK and Scandinavia. We haven't been here for so many years, and we don't sell a lot of records in the UK. The rest of Europe, we sell a lot of records, and we do very well, and we play our own shows, and have a lot of people come to them. But Trivium, Corey did us a huge favor and saw that we weren't popular in the UK, and thought he'd help us out, and asked Matt and Trivium if they could bring Annihilator on the whole tour. So we got to play 3 weeks in front of 15, 20-year-old kids who didn't know Annihilator at all, and that was really cool of them to do that for us, because our record sales all of a sudden just went up in the UK in the last couple of weeks, and they've been saying really good things about Annihilator to their fans, and it's just, I owe them a big debt for helping us out.
So tonight we'll hear, of course, some old classics. How much do you play from your new record and from your newest records compared to the old ones?
Well, we're still, we're still a support act. We're playing about 45 minutes. I think Sanctity, the first band's playing 30. We play 45, and then Trivium play an hour and 15. So we can't play all our 136 songs on our albums, but we play the main ones that lots of kids seem to like: King of the Kill, Set the World on Fire, Refresh the Demon, Neverland, Fun Palace, those kind of songs. And then we get to throw in a couple of new songs from the new record, and one song that we want to play. Refresh the Demon was the one I wanted to put in the set, so we're going to try that tonight. And then the idea is we're just going to try to be a support act for the rest of 2007 with some bigger bands, find some new fans, and then come back and do our own tour in 2008. So see what happens. You never know how it works, but it's looking good now, so...